coffee was cool. Perfect conversation. When it comes to dope relations, I ain't never had to fake one. It's gotta be some kind of catchy stuff.
Well, you were listening to the power of music, really bringing people together, making them feel better. Our next guest is a Grammy-nominated artist who rose to fame in the 90s and continues to shine with her new album, The Rise of the Phoenix.
Yeah, the single is part of her 7th studio album, The Rise of the Phoenix, that's now available in stores. Let's welcome to the show the lovely, the incomparable, the amazing Chante Moore.
Woo!
Chante, good to meet you.
Great meeting you too.
Welcome to Great Day.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Well, it's certainly like a heavy, topic that we started the show with, but as an artist, you are going on tour to promote your new album. Do you feel at all vulnerable nowadays?
You know, it's funny, I was just in Las Vegas. My daughter just left there yesterday in the morning. We were celebrating her 21st birthday, so we were right down the street. You know, mortality is something that we don't always get faced with unless some illness happens. But these kind of things sober us and make us think about just regular, everyday things that we take for granted. Certainly, I don't take it for granted because I am an entertainer, so if something like that happened in my concert or after it or even around it, it just... that kind of thing it just messes up everything, because I think as artists we want to uplift people and encourage you to love one another and accept yourself and accept others, and things like this just is counterproductive to us.
Well, Chante, I'm curious, when you're on stage, you're performing, do you and your team go through any type of drills, security drills?
We don't. Usually people are so kind, and that's the whole thing. Everybody who was there, I'm certain, was there to support him and who was having a great time, who knew, you know, above that was somebody coming shooting down. So, you know, they weren't even at the concert. So I wouldn't think of that, and I'm sure Mr. Aldine wasn't thinking of that either.
Well, you're in town performing at Howard Theater, and the DC fans, I mean, it's just like a music town like no other.
It is so wonderful.
We have so many legends who came from DC. I mean, Marvin Gaye. I mean, so what is the experience like when you're interacting with the DC music fans when you're on stage?
It's one of my favorite places to come, because the very first album that came out, actually 25 years to the day, September 29th was the day my first record came out. But I was in a concert here, and it was at a club, and it was oversold, and people were outside and lined up. I was like, oh, I'm a star. I think I'm a star. So that's always been my feeling when I get here, that they always sing every word, and that they're just so encouraging, and they make me feel very, very special. So it's always a beautiful thing to come to DC.
So, you know, I was trolling on YouTube, and of course I saw your latest album, or single rather, the real one. Kind of talk to, what is that about? What does that all mean?
It's about real love. It's about finding someone who actually gives to you without asking, and takes care of things that we wouldn't even think, oh, thank you, you know, those kind of things. I know a lot of women talk about, you know, the diamonds and the things that they get, and it's really about loving me for real, and not being in a place where you're searching for something that's outside of the real realm of what love really means.
You have a long catalog, a deep catalog rather, of music. Does your music specifically touch on the evolution of love? It seems like you've come a long way, and I think your music's been reflective of that.
Thank you. Yeah, this record actually is pretty, I think the intent is to be intense. It's called The Rise of the Phoenix, and that in itself is pretty lofty, but
it's kind of dramatic. I like it though.
What I like about it is that it's about taking all the things that have happened to me, good and the bad. I mean, because no matter who you are, clearly there's rises and falls in all of our lives. There's things that happen, and where there's been death and tragedies in my life, and things that have been resilient. I've been resilient in. So that this record takes all of that and puts it all inside of it, because I think that's what music is about. It's about talking about your heart being broken. It's talking about your heart getting, you know, inspired and reignited. And the Phoenix itself takes all of those things and becomes reborn, and is better and brighter and beautiful, more beautiful than ever. So
it's deep, Chante.
I know. See, I'm just wondering right now. You know, the rise of the Phoenix. Is love a part of that rise? Are you in love right now?
It is, and I am. Yeah,
oh.
I'm having a good time loving
Oh.
it. Yeah.
You want to give us a little bit more? Is that all we're getting?
Chante.
Well, yeah, I know, right? Well, it's beautiful because I've learned through the experiences that I've been through that it's it's about the journey. It really is a journey. It's not just, I found love, everything's going to be perfect from this moment on. It's not about that. It's about taking the ups and the downs and the ebb and flow of life and being okay with being single, you know, being a single parent and, you know, being out there again in the world. Dating, what in the world? So, you know, I learned how to just be still in each moment. And I'm learning to now, you know, have someone who loves me and be happy in the moments of those that I get from that.
Oh, this sounds like
person.
this feels like a new, fresh love.
I know.
It's good.
Okay.
And that's what I like, is that it's good for us. And that's what love is supposed to be. Music is supposed to be that. So again, my heart and my prayers are with everybody who's in Vegas that has been affected by this. I know the artist is also pretty affected by this as well. So,
I'm sure.
you know, and as much as there is joy in the concert, there was, you know, sadness in it. So I'm saying all of these things will make us better people if we just become resilient and pull together. And I think that's what everybody should be doing now.
Speaking of joy, you have a Christmas album coming out, which will spread joy this holiday
Spread
season.
more joy,
Before we let
yeah.
you go, tell us the name of that album and where
It's
we
called
can find it.
Christmas Back to You. It comes out in November, I think it's the 3rd.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's my first Christmas album. I all this time I love Christmas, but I've not done a Christmas album.
It's your
but
first Christmas album.
I know. I'm so excited.
Chante, come back and perform.
Yeah, I will.
Okay?
I absolutely
We'll
will.
have a holiday feast and everything if,
Yes,
if
but
you come back.
Food is
I'm
good.
saying-
I love food.
Oh,
Amen.
there you go.
Amen.
Chante
So,
loves food. If you come back, we'll make sure we have a feast.
But you have
in
to
your
have an
honor.
inner eater. You have to talk about your inner eater. My inner eater
My
is named.
inner eater is outer.
You have it.
But
But that's how she happened.
Right.
It was the fat girl dying to get out. Her name is Beulah, so you have
Beulah.
to name your inner eater when we
Okay,
return.
mine
You
is
have to-
Shaniqua.
Shaniqua. What's
Shaniqua
your-
loves food.
I'm going to go with Fat Albert because I just have too many of those moments.
All right. Hey. I love you, Chante Moore. Come back with Beulah. We'll have some food. We'll
Yeah.
sing.
Quite
Sounds
possible.
good.
Shaniqua may want to sing backup.
Shaniqua should sing.
All right. Well, listen, we are.